And don't also support me because you like me. Support me for the destiny of your nation. Do you expect that Israel will occupy a nation for 60 years and keep its moral fiber, its moral at least? Is the Jewish future and the Israeli future is saved today by what the occupation is doing? They are creating a generation of hatred. When they ask me why Palestinians teach their kids to hate, and I said, if you live in the Haitian refugee camp, do you need a specific curriculum for hatred? If you see this wall, do you need anybody to teach you how to hate? If you live in Sderot as an Israeli, where Al-Qassam rockets hate, do you need anybody to teach you how to hate Palestinian?
Bassam Ali says that we must end the occupation. And you are living in Tekoa, and you are considered as a settler. What?
I'm not only considered as a settler.
I'm
one of the founders of the settlers movements. I'm one of the Mayflower. We haven't come to Tekoa as a part of the occupation. I came to Tekoa because I'm connected to this land. Yes, I didn't come in order to be an obstacle to the Palestine state. We come back home. That's all. How can you imagine that a man who is not a settler, but I said one of the founders of the settlers, was so close to Arafat? Why he invited me again and again? And even in his last days, he phoned here to this telephone and say to me, El Chacham Fruman, or as we were, Arafat has an excellent sense of humor. Perhaps you, the Palestinians, don't have the same impression, but he was a joker. But he used to call me Sheikh Fruman, and I called him El Chacham Abu Amar. Yes, so he said to me, Sheikh Fruman I'm coming back to the telephone, came to me as soon as possible. I said, Ya Rais, why? Come to me. And then I understood that he's ill. And he wanted to depart for me. But he knows that I am a settler. Not only he knows. The reason that he was so interested with the connections with me, because I am a settler.
You are here because of your relation to God.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And because of the holy of the land.
Yes.
For you.
Yes.
Not because being wanting to take the land of the other.
Yes.
You have good intention.
Yes.
But those good intentions are in a place where they create conflict,
Yes.
where they create blood. I'm sorry to say that, but this is the truth. I paid the highest price for this peace.
Yeah.
Are you willing, if Peace Solution will say you should leave your home, are you willing to do it?
If your question is...
No.
No.
I'll also follow
your question is
the
like
emotion of it.
asking me if I am ready for my love to my wife. Yes? And I am personally, it's known among my friends, I am a student of my wife. I am a follower of my wife. So I love my wife more than love. Yes. And if you will ask me, are you, for your love for the sake of the love of your wife, are you ready to pay? I will say, of course. Are you ready to pay a high price? I say, of course. So, are you ready to kill your wife for the sake of your wife, of the love of your wife? This is the question that you ask me. For me...
It seems that there is no answer for this question.
Yeah.
No. For me, the settlements are the hope for peace. My being here in this place is peace itself. You have to understand me. And when I say this idea to Abu Amar, he say to me, "Hada mubadra jadida." That's something new. I have never heard about something this. And after a few minutes, he suggested me, oh yes, that's the one, to be the minister, the wazir, the minister of Jewish affairs in his government. Yes, I refused because I'm not. I don't like to be a minister. But that's another. That's my fault. That's my personal inclination. I want to be a teacher, but not a minister. But you have to understand. For me, I have another narrative. For me, the settlements are the peace itself.
How? I want to understand.
Because if there will be a state, a Palestinian state, and I pray for a Palestinian state, you have to understand, every Jewish child is supposed to know the famous story that once a non-Jew came to one of our sages about 2,000 years ago, yes, and asked him, "Can you summarize Judaism in one sentence or in the language of our sources while I'm standing on one leg?" Yes, and perhaps this man was not so young. How long can I stand on one leg? Yes. So in one sentence, the answer of the sage was, quoting the verse from Leviticus, one of the books of the Torah, you know, Leviticus, yes. You have to love your neighbor as you love yourself.
But we are not neighbors.
Why not?
I'll tell you why. Neighbors is a clear relation between clear neighborhood.
Yeah.
When people say to me, "Are you ready to recognize Israel?"
Yeah.
I'm always ready to recognize Israel. But where is Israel? That's the question, politically. Where is the border of Israel? This is the political problem. So you are not considered for me as a neighbor when you live in a settlement. I see you as somebody who is taking my land. But if I am a state where you live as a Jew, I don't mind. Even Arafat said that to you, I'm sure. Where you will hold whatever, you being a Jew living in Palestine. Yeah. I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
But the political issue for the land, neighbor comes from neighborhood. And neighborhood, we are talking about land, and we are talking about a structure in the environment. So it will never happen before we organize this relation. Palestinian will resist you, and you have to defend yourself, and this will create more problems. The geographical plan for the Israeli government to protect settlers is creating a new situation where Palestinian independent state become impossible. Because we cannot connect between the areas because of the whole structure to secure those settlements. So how can I have a state, even thinking about having a state, geographically, while those settlements are keep growing, and I'm forbidden to go to many places, and I will be forbidden now to drive the general way that I used to drive all of my life from my village Beit Omar to Beit Lahem. They're gonna change all the environment. How could peace be possible with that?
Well, I think that you don't appreciate enough your leader. I don't know what Yasser Arafat.
About?
Because this is exactly the point. If you begin with the political solution, if you see me as a soldier of a political system, if you say that the settlements avoid the
Peace building.
the building, not peace, the building of a Palestinian state, then you define me as a man who came here from political reasons, from political ends, in order to stop you, to avoid you to build your state. But I am not, it's not my self-definition. I tell you, I'm praying for the establishing of a political state, of a Palestinian state, because if I have a state, I have to love. The essence of my religion is that I have to love my neighbor as I love my state. And if I have a state, as I love myself, yes? If I have a state, you have to have a state. If Jerusalem is my capital, Jerusalem have to be your capital. If I am free, you have to be free. That's the essence of my religion. That's the reason that I am praying for the establishing of a Palestinian state.